What is going on today, everybody? I hope you're doing well. A little dressed down today. It's Sunday. But anyways, just wanted to do a video on lights. As you can tell, I've got a lot of lights. There's always the question, can you have too much of something? Usually the answer is no. But anyways, sometimes it gets a little out of hand. I actually quit buying lights not too long ago last year. This was my last one that I bought. I haven't bought any since then, and I don't plan on buying any because I have plenty. But anyways, I just thought going into in depth into all my lights and kind of giving you guys my pros, my likes, my dislikes, kind of give you an idea, a close up with my hands on them of the lights, just to give you a little better idea of everything that I have. So if you like this type of content, as always, what you'll see in these videos and everybody else's, like, subscribe, share, it does help so that way we can do more videos. So anyways, without further ado, let's get right into it. So this is one of Snap-on's newer lights here, and this actually has their new battery systems, which I did a video, like a short intro video on this. That's the reason I actually bought this, is because it has the new rechargeable batteries in it, and I didn't really like the other ones that they came out with, and so I figured they're gonna come out with other items with those batteries. So it's a good light. It's got a magnet on it. Obviously, it's got the foldable handle here as well. It lasts a decent amount of time. I'm not gonna go in depth about every single light because obviously, like I said, we've got a lot to go through, but it is very bright, and any Snap-on light that you get or want to buy, if you press and hold the power button, it dims them all the way down and flashes, and then brightens them all the way up and flashes once it's up to its brightest setting and its lowest setting. So do like that light. I don't use it a ton. This light here, I don't want to say I hate it. I just don't like it a ton. The reason is it's very heavy light. It's from Mac Tools. Part number is SPL2500M. But the issue I have with it is because it is so heavy, it has a hard time like using the magnets. The magnets are strong, but it tends to be kind of wonky and unbalanced. And so as you can tell, it's pretty damaged. That's because it's fell a ton. Now it's held up and it's not broken. It is motion censored, which is cool. I do like that. You just turn it on here. It's 2,500 lumens at the brightest, 1,000, then 500. And then when you want it to be on motion sensor, you just click that button and it'll dim by itself. And it also will charge items from it, and it has a little hook here as well. So aside from the fact that it's ultra heavy, you know, it does work. It also has this strap that you can use here, so you can hang it on stuff. But I've just found the strap not to be practical, and like I said, just so heavy, it has a hard time. On certain cars, it works great, and I do use it. On other stuff, it will not stay on there. It keeps falling off. It keeps getting beat up, so I'm honestly worried that it might break, but this whole outer layer is rubber, so it's obviously durable. It was very expensive too. I can't remember how much it was. I want to say it was over $300 for that light. All right, so these are the inspection lights from Snap-on. I really like these. I have two of them because one of them, the lens got kind of fogged up on the end. I think it was because I was using brake clean at that time and it fogged up, or I got brake clean on it, I don't know. So anyways, I use these for inspections. They have the light on the end, then they have your front light, your rear light here, and same thing, you press and hold the power button, they'll dim. I like these. The thing I like about these compared to, like, this is the ones they always get compared to, is the Icon light, is the size. Now I still like the Icon light and I use it a lot. It's just heavier and bulkier, but it is brighter. Then next, we'll go into the Snap-on light here. It's the foldable, I don't know what they call these, but it's the same thing. It's like a big version of the ones I just showed you. Two of these, same deal. I don't know if you can see, but see how foggy that one is compared to that one. So it just got foggy, couldn't see as well, so I just kept this one around, but I've had this one for 5 or 6 years. Whenever they first came out with this light is when I bought this. And this is actually kind of bent and messed up, so it's hard to open that one, but they both still work really good. Same thing. When you open that up, you got your beam, or I mean your bar, and then the front there. I like it that they have a power indicator, which is nice as well. So I do inspections on every single car. So every single car that comes through the door, I do an inspection. So, and it's a digital inspection. I take pictures of everything, and I want a good lighting to take pictures. So sometimes certain lights won't work, and if you know anything about lights and you're in the industry, you know every time you go to grab one, one's dead or one dies while you're using it, and that happens. So this one I actually used for a really long time. I haven't used it in a while. It also got bent. I don't remember what happened to it, but the bottom got bent, and so this has a hard time coming out. But it's got this bar over here, and then it's got the bar on the other side, and they're actually, one's fluorescent and one's LED, I think was the difference. I can't remember. And then it also has the UV, which I used that for a while on any AC jobs that I was doing, or if I was checking for oil leaks and I had dye. So this is a good light. It's from Streamlight. I had no issues with it. It was called the Stinger Switchblade. They actually came out with the smaller version that I really wanted to try. I just have never bought it. There's also a little hook on the bottom that you can pull out, but I never used that. So, but I don't use this much anymore. It just sits. Next is the Coast HP7R. This I actually use around the house. I don't use it in the shop. I just use it for around the house, but I do really like it. And it's not ideal or practical for around the shop, to be honest, because there's no clip on it, there's no magnets, there's nothing. It's too bulky to fit in your pocket. So it's around the house light, but it does sit out here in the shop from time to time. And so I just thought, oh, it's out here, why not show it? So won't spend a ton of time on it. Like I said, I'm not gonna get too into depth about everything because there's a lot of lights to cover. So this is the Snap-on headlight that they have. It's removable. So this has like a little magnet on there and it comes off. Actually, I think this has the magnet. Let's see. Yeah, so the light has the magnet and then it has this little swivel on there so you can move that around. So if you're underneath the car and you need to take it off, then you can turn that on and magnetize it. I do like this light. I found it to be uncomfortable after wearing it long periods of time, so I don't use it as much as I use this one. This is the Odelphi beam or LED beam light, bar light, whatever you want to call it. And it has the front LED bar, which has 2 different brightnesses. And then it has the beam light here, same thing. It also has a motion sensor, but I can tell you that the motion sensor is very frustrating and annoying to use. So I never use the motion sensor part of it, but the headlight itself, I do really like. I have 2 of these and I've really enjoyed this light. This is my go-to now. It's very comfortable, super bright, it works great, and it lasts a long time. So I have these 2, like I guess they call them puck style lights here from Matco. I like these a lot. They actually come with like a white cover too for a diffuser, which in the shop it's kind of pointless, but I actually use those for when I'm recording content and stuff. So they last a decent amount of time. They recharge fast. All of the lights, except for the older like Streamlight and the Coast, are USB Type-C, which I really like because I have a ton of USB Type-C chargers. They have the magnets on the bottom. They're real similar to the Icon style light from Harbor Freight, just a little bit smaller. And they also have a UV, they also have UV light on there as well, which is nice. So hopefully I didn't blind you there. This is the Icon one. I got it with the under hood light as well. It works well also. It has 3 different brightnesses and it just magnetizes onto the under hood light. There's like little pads. That's actually what I use the Matco lights for as well. I do like it, aside from being bulkier and bigger than those and heavier, but it does work well and it seems to last longer, so I'm assuming it just has a bigger battery. Next is the Icon and Braun from Harbor Freight. So what I found is I've been buying more of the cheaper lights. I was actually just talking with a friend on Instagram and we both were saying like we've lost so many lights underneath vehicles and left them on the frame or whatnot. So I found myself buying the Harbor Freight ones and I actually really like them. They're a lot cheaper, so if I lose them, it's not as big of a deal. The Icon one I like a lot. Like I said, comparing it to the Snap-on ones earlier, it's brighter. The magnet's very strong on it, so it does work well, but it is heavier and it's aluminum, I think. So it's much heavier than the Snap-on ones because those are plastic. But it's held up well. I use it for inspections. These are basically all my inspection lights, same with this Braun one. The nice thing is they just updated these, so they swivel. Before they just swiveled open and close like this, but now they have the extra spot in there, which makes it really nice. Same thing. They have the magnet on the bottom. This light is my go-to now for inspections, but like I said, once again, I go through all of them. Once this one dies, I just switch to another one, throw this one on a charger and move on. So efficiency is key. This has actually been my go-to for like interior work, or if I'm doing anything where I don't have a ton of light, like on suspension or whatnot. Or brakes on the side of the car, like when I work on the passenger side of vehicles, I don't have as much light in the shop. What I like about these is obviously it's a neck light, but they come off and they have a little magnet on the back. So if I'm working on something and I need an extra quick little light and I don't have a pocket light or something on me, I'll just pull that off. I was doing a window regulator not too long ago, and it was perfect because I just threw it, set it right inside there while I was doing my window regulator, pulled it back out and put it back on. So I really, really like this light from Snap-on. I will try to put links to everything in the description. I can't guarantee you because there's so many, but I'll try to do my best to have links for y'all and part numbers and whatnot. Obviously, you're gonna wanna know that, so I promise I'll do my best and I'll have some sort of link or part number for everything. At the very least, I'll put part numbers for y'all. This is the articulating light from Snap-on. This is the older version, and I use this a lot. It's actually kind of one of them lights that you don't really think you will use, but then once you get it, you use it a ton. So it's got a UV on it as well, and then it's just got its standard light. But obviously what's nice about it is you can articulate that any way that you need to. Now that's, if you see, this is one of the only things that I don't like about it, is if you have it up like that, it wants to drop. But normally what I do is like I'll curl it around something and set it exactly where I need it, and it works just fine. So this is the newer version of that light, and what I like about this even better is it has the sidebar light, the beam light up front, and then you can also turn on this light as well if you need it, and same thing. Now this one doesn't fall. It seems like it's probably just because it's newer and it's not as worn out, but both lights I do use. Those are kind of those lights that when I have a hard spot when I'm working and I gotta have both my hands and I can't do something and I can't get a light set on something perfectly, I pull one of those out, set it on the lift or set it on a control arm or whatever on the frame, pull that articulating light up there and get it where I need to go. This is the JD Tico light as well. It's basically like the other two. The thing I don't like about this, and I don't use it that much, it's not that it's a bad light, is you have to cycle through all of those, and I don't understand what the flashing light is for. You know, maybe for like a tow truck or something if you need that, but as far as the shop setting, it's kind of pointless. There's no need for that. And then when I got it, the cover was like, it looked like this already. So I cut some more off over here, but it was already like kind of cut like that, so it looked really cheap. So that was one of the things I didn't like about it. Like I said, not to say it's a bad light, I just don't use it a ton because I find the other ones to be more convenient. I don't have to cycle through and I don't care about the flashing lights. So I do use it when those are dead and I forgot to charge them or whatever, I'll grab this one. This light I don't use much anymore. I've had this light for years and there's nothing wrong with it. Usually when I am pulling it out, I'll use it on, like if I'm working underneath the dash or something, I'll just lay it on the floor and have the light shining up and it works out pretty well. But as you can see, all these other lights are so much smaller and more convenient and typically brighter now. So I just feel like these are pretty outdated. But you know, I still know guys that use these every day and love them. So nothing wrong with them. It's just not my personal preference is all. We got the Power Probe Tech light. So when I got this light, I thought I was gonna really like it. And I actually personally have not liked it. Now I do know some people who do, and that's why, you know, these videos are great because you're gonna get everyone's opinions on whether you might like it or you might not, and you can kind of see some of the cons. It does work really well. Each light comes out individually and they each have a magnet on them. I just don't find myself using that very much, and maybe that's just me. There's just not many areas where I will actually use this. And the fact that it's completely flat, so you can only obviously put it on a completely flat surface if you need all four. Now you can turn on all four lights from the actual mount itself, whatever you want to call it, the base, but you're not putting that on a hood. There's very few places you're gonna actually use this whole thing set up like that. So you're gonna be pulling the lights out individually. Now the nice thing is when you plug in the base, all 4 lights charge simultaneously, which is cool. Excuse me. But once again, it's just not something that I would use very often. And so for me, it just doesn't get utilized. Last but not least is the 3-pack from Snap-on. Excuse me, a bunch of dust on there. Excuse me again, sorry. I really like these. Kind of similar to that. I do use these a little bit more because they are brighter. They each come off super bright, lasts a long time. You can, I can't remember, yeah, if you press the button, you can turn on all 3 of them. But once again, flat surface, you're not gonna be using all 3 of them like that for much of anything. Not that I know of, maybe some other people are using them for that. But what's nice, same as the Power Pro, but they all charge simultaneously. I just find these a little bit more convenient. The magnet is definitely stronger than those. Of course, the base is bigger. So again, it's gonna all be personal preference on what works for you, what doesn't. Same thing, I've talked to a lot of people who absolutely love these lights, this particular style, and I've talked to people who hate them. Last but not least is pocket lights, pen lights. I love this. It's the Coast HP3R. It's rechargeable, so I just recharge it. It's not USB Type-C, but it's an older light. And when I wear like a button-up with pockets, and then on my button-up I have like sleeve pockets as well for lights, so I actually slide the lights in on the pocket. I don't actually like them in the front pocket because every now and again you'll catch a door or whatever and you could possibly scratch it. Same with these tiny little pin lights. I love these as well. These are the A8R from Coast. And I like the warranty. The warranty from a lot of these lights is great, except for Snap-ons. Obviously, their warranty isn't that great, but Coast has a lifetime warranty. Streamlight has a lifetime warranty, and that makes it convenient. Anytime you buy a light like that, you can just send it in when it breaks. Now, granted, there's no reason for me to have this many. These were on sale. I found them at a place like on clearance for like, I think $6 or $9, so they were dirt cheap, so I bought all 3 of these lights, and that's the only reason I have those 3. And then these, I think I got in a deal as well. Coast was having an online sale, and I bought the red one, and I think I got one free, and then I bought this one and got one free. I can't remember exactly how that all went down. That doesn't matter. So anyways, like I said, I will throw part numbers. I will make sure that I have part numbers for every single light in this video. I know this video was a little bit longer, and I apologize for that, but there's a lot of lights. I contemplated on making it in part 1, part 2, but I just thought that was kind of pointless. So I'll put links down below in the description for you. I'll have part numbers. If I can't get the link, I'll for sure have the part number, and I'll put MSRP pricing in there as well for all of these lights. They're anywhere from $350 down to, like I said, $6 or $9 for those little Coast pocket lights that I had. So the Stylus Streamlight is a popular one as well. I know a lot of people like those. I don't personally have any, but if you guys have any questions about any of the lights, anything at all, please feel free to throw them down in the comments. I will do my best. Appreciate all the love and the support. Appreciate you watching the video. If you're still here to the end, I really appreciate that because that helps a ton. Take it easy. See ya.